Hi there. If you own or operate a dump truck business, your customers may ask you to provide a quote as a price per ton or cubic yard. In today's video, we are going to learn how to create a quote by the ton, analyze a given rate per ton, and show you how to use DumpTek to report on your estimated versus actuals. For the first scenario, we are going to create a quote for a customer. They have given us a load site, dump site, material to be hauled, quantity, and expected load times. Let's open Google Maps and look at the route. Looking at the map, it's about 22 minutes travel from the load site to the dump site. Most of the road is state route and straight. I'm going to estimate that one of our trucks could travel that distance in about 35 minutes, adding a little buffer for traffic and truck speed. Now let's go to DumpTek.com to use the free hauling quote calculator to figure our price. Click on Resources, and then Hauling Calculator, Create Quote. Now let's fill out the form with the job details: customer name, project name, material, quantity, loading location, dump location, number of trucks we will use, and unit of measure. The next field to complete is total hours in a working day. This will be how long the driver's shift will be. I'm going to say 11 hours for this one. Truck capacity, tons. I'm going to input 20 tons for our bottom dump weight capacity. I'll lean conservative on this one because we don't always get a full load. Truck capacity, cubic yards, will be about 14. Now, truck billable hourly rate is the rate you would bill if you were billing the project hourly. So for this scenario, we are going to use $100 per hour. It's going to take about 30 minutes for our trucks to travel from our yard to the load site, and it will take about an hour for our trucks to travel from the dump site back to our yard. The time at the load site will be determined by a few factors such as site congestion, size and availability of the loader, and paperwork at the scale house. Based on my experience, I'm going to assume that it should take about 15 minutes from the time we enter the load site to the time we leave. For the time hauling to the dump site, I stated before when we were looking at the map that I was going to use about 35 minutes for traveling from load site to the dump site. Now, our time at the dump site should be fairly quick because we are using bottom dump trailers. I'm going to use 5 minutes for the dump time duration to get in and out of the project site. Finally, we need to input the time from the dump site back to the load site to complete the cycle. Because the return route has stayed the same, we will use 35 minutes again. So now we have all of our inputs in the calculator. Let's take a look at the results. I'm going to click the View icon below next to Values to see the quote details. At this point, we have our quoted price per load, per ton, and per cubic yard. We also have some additional details such as total cycle time or total hauling days. This information will come in handy when reviewing our driver's haul sheets to make sure we are on track with what we estimated. Personally, I like to share these assumptions with the contractor and even include them as qualifications of my quote. This can benefit us if any variables about the project change and we need to adjust the price. An example of this would be if the haul route had to change due to road restrictions, or if the contractor's loader was not able to load our trucks within the estimated time period. With that being said, you are now ready to start creating quotes for your customers. Great job! I suggest clicking the print button to keep a record of quotes you have sent out. So, now that we have learned how to create a quote, let's take a look at how to analyze a price given to us. We will pretend that it's the same scenario as before, only the contractor gave us a price of $8 per ton. Our accountant has told us we need to be billing an average of $100 per hour to make a profit. So let's see if we should accept this job. Back to DumpTek.com, click on Resources, and then Hauling Calculator, Analyze Quote. As you can see, I kept all of the inputs the same, but this time we have a field called Received Rate. This is where we input the $8 per ton price the contractor gave us. So that the calculator knows this is a price per ton, I'm going to make sure the unit of measure is changed to ton. Let's check out the results. Down at the bottom, we click the View icon to see details and click Submit to run the calculation. An hourly rate of 91.43 is not quite what we need in order to be profitable. In this situation, I might try to negotiate with the contractor or find another project for my trucks. Thanks to DumpTek, I was able to easily make an informed decision for my company before doing the job. Estimating is a learned skill, and your estimate is only going to be as accurate as the assumptions used. Trucking companies that use DumpTek for their haul sheets have quick access to the data that allows for analysis and comparison of actual versus estimated production. For this last part, I'm going to show how we can run a simple report in DumpTek that we will use to compare against our first estimate. My trucks have been working on this project for about a week now. To see how things are going, I'm going to log into our account, click on Reports, and then click on Ticket Summary Report. I'm going to filter for the date range, and then for the project. Here is a preview of the report, but I want to do some additional math to see the cycle times and hourly rate, so I'm going to export this report as Excel. Using the Excel file, I can figure the total revenue per ticket by multiplying the rate per ton by the total tons. Please give me just a moment to set this up. Now that I have the total revenue, I can figure the hourly rate by dividing the total revenue by the total hours. Another moment, please. Now let's find the average hourly rate. Cool. So our average hourly rate is $104.48. If you remember our estimate, we were trying to get about $100 per hour. I would say we were right on track with the assumptions we put into the calculator. Well, there you have it. I hope this tutorial helped. Please take a look at some of our other videos and check out our website at dumptek.com to see what else DumpTek has to offer for your trucking company.